Hey everybody, it's Chance here with yet another episode of Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. Last time we got helped Mayu escape um, by using our god powers, and then um, we met up with the guy from the beginning of the game, the assistant of the chairman of Hikaku Soaps, Takumi, and pulled him on his shit, and learned that Natsui does not have a high spirit sense. She goes by Gamiodo. Um, and then we did confirm that Makoto Ashimiya was in fact Nejima. They're the same guy. And we had a showdown, and he told us a bunch of stuff about how he was trying to bring back to life his dead girlfriend, and then he had the baby, and he was really upset with that. Um, so we learned that, and then how this ended was Ayame got kidnapped. And then, he was found dead, beaten to death 110 times. So I can't help but think she definitely has the curse echo, and it is just the most violent one. Because that feels like a curse echo thing. But, and I know that there's definitely one of the mysteries that is tied to Seimin Mikado himself, and I have a feeling it's the Teko Sugaru, which would be the one that would be most likely, most likely. But so, oh whoops, oh, I'm sleepy all of a sudden. So it looks like we didn't get everything from this, so I'm just gonna see if there is. I don't know, maybe it's this one. Oh, wait. I just skipped through all of that. Yeah. Alrighty then. Huh? Gah! I'll slit your throat, you little shit. Huh? Stay back, I'll shoot. Wait, don't actually shoot, you idiot. See you around, dumb fucks. Shit, he jumped. Ah, okay, and that's the bad ending. Damn it, after him. Don't let him get away. From HQ to all bureaus. Suspect evaded officers at Komagata Bridge and fled. Currently remains at large. The time at which he threatened to carry out his attack is approaching. In response, we will call in reinforcements and widen the search perimeter along the immediate Sumida River area. Oh, boss. Oh, he looks so fucked. Boss! I'm sorry. It's all my fault. If only I hadn't lost my nerve and opened fire. Enough. I told you already. It's on me. I should have told you to lower your weapon. Thinking on that chasing him to the river would cover him was also a miscalculation. Sure, it's possible that right now he's sleeping with the fishes at the bottom of the river, but I somehow doubt things would be that easy. Do you think he really can kill hundreds of people? Who knows? Him saying he already used his curse turned out to be a bluff. Hard to believe he could kill hundreds at once, even with a curse stone, but all he can do is pray that he was lying. The condition for Nejima's curse stone, the one-sided reed, was only later discovered. Kills by dismemberment, the one who face, address, name, age, occupation, and location are all known by the curse bearer. The because it's a stalker. And so at sunset that day, out of 232 students enrolled at Komagata High, the 377 who were at home had each one arm and one leg severed, one by one, in the order they appeared in the school register. They bled to death while screaming in agony. Having no known cause, this atrocity terrified the public, resulting in widespread panic. Before long, fear and speculation plunged society into total chaos, and misinformation about the curses began to spread. A series of unrelated incidents broke out, unleashing pandemonium beyond all control. While it is uncertain whether Fumichika Nejima intended things to go this far, Tetsuo Tsutsumi's daughter, Ayame Tono, was also killed by Nejima's curse shortly after. And Tetsuo Tsutsumi, unable to bear the heavy responsibility or the people's blame, quit the police force and fled from the Kurokai. At the very least, Nejima's goal of driving Tetsuo Tsutsumi to ruin could not have been more thoroughly achieved. Thus, with his rapturous satisfaction, the curtains close on Paranormasight. Well, ending to Nejima's reminiscence. Well, only 7 minutes into this video. Probably shorter than that even. But I guess we're already done with the game, so it was really great playing. I really hope you all enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. Of course, I am joking. We already know, because I think it's really cute how my initial gut feeling has always been right, because I'm a genius. Because I know everything. Sure, I've always failed both of the Haruhi quizzes, but other than that, I'm so smart and perfect. I've never done anything wrong in my entire life. Of course. What Nejima went on to do with his enormous horde of Dregs 4 remains unclear. But according to later reports, Nejima devoted himself to his master, a woman called Lady Ashino. Well, got that ending. Alright, so now we prepare for battle, or we held the last resort. I kinda want to check out what's going on with Arui and Richter. Like, I love the girls. I love the girls very much. I think their buddy cop thing is really fun. But I honestly, I really like whatever the hell is going on with Harui and Richter's stuff, personally. I probably should have read that, but I didn't. Harui Shigema, 5 p.m. We've received an update on the hostage situation. The 56-year-old male suspect who has announced his intent to commit mass murder in Sumida City today had taken a woman hostage and got on the run. You know, it's actually foreshadowing, because Richter earlier at the school was like, you know, someone with the wrong idea could, like, take this information and use it very poorly. And, like, yeah, it turns out when you let just anyone access public information, it is bad. Turns out surveillance is bad. But it was found by the police in a park in Sumida after 4 p.m. and confirmed dead. The weapon of the suspect was said to possess was nowhere to be seen on site, and the whereabouts are currently unknown. Furthermore, the female hostage was not present, and the search for her continues. Interesting. If it's being reported on the news, then that lends credence to her story. He was quite shaken just moments ago, but he seems better now. You'd think it'd be harder for him to keep his cool. Anyway, I should ask about her side of the story. Oh! Oh! Hey! I wonder what her intentions are. How is she able to act like nothing happened? Is this just how girls are these days? Oh! Well, it's just like I said, right? The female hostage mentioned on the news just now. That must have been you. Which means you killed Nejima with your own curse stone? Well, you said you'd give me refuge, so I came here to take you up on that offer. What are you planning? Me? Well, obviously. I'm on to my last resort. So you're a curse bearer with a curse stone too, right? Are you surprised? Yes, I have a curse stone of my own. It's the Taiku of Tsugaru. Then why do you go after other people's curse stones when you literally have probably the most powerful one? Because killing people is bad, you know? Don't you think so too? I mean, I don't know. What does Harui believe? I mean, I guess so. She doesn't seem like someone who cares, personally speaking, but... You're right. It's wrong to kill people for the sake of resurrection. Right? And it's not even one for one, so it's hardly a fair exchange. Either way, that's why I only wanted to use the soul dregs gathered by others. But that didn't work out in the end, because it turns out one of them was my dad, and he wouldn't kill with it, and then another one was a girl, but she killed a couple people for revenge, and that doesn't really count either. And then another guy, maybe he would have done it, but he got his thing taken away because all he really wanted to know was the folklore. And one of them was my shit-ass boyfriend who I don't like, who sucked. And the only guy who would have done it is Shogo. And that bitch died, because in the prologue he died. So, who can say? No one had the backbone to use their curse. The world's gone soft. With no one mercilessly using their curse in pursuit of their own goals, I had to take matters into my own hands. I heard Namagaki, the young man you were with, used his curse stone too. Huh? How do you know that? Ugh, creepy much? Are you stalking me? I may have heard it from a detective I know. Ugh, there it is. Cops. Bet you know a bunch. I know your type. People who boast just because they know a couple cops. But the police is filled with nothing but scum. My, you seem to hold quite a grudge against the Force. It's almost like your shitty father is there. Speaking of, this guy's really creeping me out. What's the deal with him anyway? You gonna explain? Even the way he moves is all weird and exaggerated. Right. I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm... no, thank you. She's the funniest character in this whole game. She's so funny. I love her. There is something so deeply wrong with you, and I love you. Let me introduce myself. It's hard to talk as strangers. It is? And you're okay with telling me who you are? Well, I won't stop you. Do as you please. Well, I am Harui Shigima, and this is my house. My father and husband are both with the police. Is that so? Then you know that cops are just the worst people, right? Well, there are certainly many who are cold, especially with their own family. In a police family, one is always just expected to grin and bear it no matter what happens. God, I know, right? What a relief! You understand. I think we might get along. Oh, well, I'm glad then. And I'm Richter Kai, private investigator. Ugh, did I ask? But, you're an investigator? She's so funny, I love her. So your job is to sneak around and follow and pry into their secrets, right? Just the face of disgust is really good. And why is it you keep probing with all these... Is that why you keep probing with all these questions? Ew. Guess there's not much I can do for you to change that terrible impression of me you got. Hey, lady, why are you working with this dude? I asked him to look into something for me. Really? Is that just why? It's just that he keeps looking this way. Because he's a private eye. Like, I hired him, and you're weird and suspicious. Isn't your father a police officer as well? That man is not my father, not in name or deed. Sounds like there's some bad blood there. I've already legally cut all ties. He even had the nerve to act all high and mighty today and still refused to help me. You met him today? Yes, today. Remember that Chief Tatsumi who was chasing Nejima? Well, him. That's my dad. What? You're his daughter? Former daughter. I've cut ties. He's never acted like a father, so he doesn't deserve the title. You know, I've heard something about that Nejima guy. Apparently, he wanted to get revenge on Chief Inspector Tatsumi for his arrest by going after his daughter. Wait, really? And I've heard the police have been searching non-stop to take you into protective custody. So that explains why the police were staking out your place, too. Man, how could I have known that? They came in such intimidating numbers. Wait. Huh? Hold on a minute. Doesn't that mean that Nejima specifically was after my life today? That sounds about right. It's a good thing you got out unscathed, or rather, managed to turn the tables on him. Oh, that means legally speaking, it was self-defense. But that truly was quite terrifying. To think I had to go through that just for being related to a cop, it's a disgrace. It truly is, to cause their own child such trouble. I'm sorry. It's okay, you're not the one that needs to apologize, lady? Ah, I'm sorry. It just reminds me of what happened to my son. Your son? What happened? My child was also kidnapped and murdered in order to enact revenge against the police, you see. What? How awful! That's terrible! I'm sorry to hear that! Ah, now that you say it, I do remember hearing about an incident like that last year. That must have been your son, huh? My condolences. So, what were we talking about again? Oh, right, Yutaro Namagaki. He's no good, honestly. He was such a wuss. I had to spur him on so many times for him to even use his curse, and even then he was pissing his pants. And just when I take his eyes off of him, he hands over his curse stone to someone. Honestly, he's a disappointment. So that's what happened. Which is why I figured I had to do it myself if I wanted it done right, you know? That's what my own last resort is. Collecting soul drugs on my own. Same! Hashtag girl. Well, when you were taken hostage by Nejima, you probably got a lot of soul points because he's a curse bearer. You used the curse stone in the gardens and swiftly made your getaway? Well, yeah. I didn't really have time to think on it. At the time, I only thought of how to get out of there. Then, what about now? Could you use it again? Your curse stone? Well, the curse stone doesn't respond during the day, but it's evening now. So I tried to use the curse just now and, yep, it seems I activated it. What? You're using it now? It might still be a little weak. I guess it's not supposed to be used repeatedly, but I think I could get it to work once more. Oh, that's so. Sure is. So I'll give you a final warning. It's already started. So be careful. Hmm? It's started. The curse, of course. All that's left is for the conditions to be fulfilled. It has to do with the drums, so I'm like a little anxious about that. She activated her curse. Curse stones can be used already. I let my guard down. I think it could be used this early in the evening. Ma'am, please calm down. What should I do? Should I keep her talking? Oh, wow. Which curse stone? Why me? What are your curse stone's conditions? Nejima's death. Do you have a light on you? This is the Taiko Sugaru. Beg for forgiveness. What is Nejima's curse stone? What are the haunted clappers? What is the seven mysteries of Honjo? What is your family like? What do you desire? No. Instead of talking about that, how about we talk about why you're so shaken? As I thought, you have a curse stone, too. You're a curse bearer, aren't you, lady? Ah, there we go. Huh? Ma'am? Ma'am. Damn, did she fulfill the conditions? She sure did. Well, okay, it's time for a beatdown. Geez, why did you hide it now of all times? It couldn't have come if you weren't a curse bearer. Ugh. Stop! Too bad. She's already dead. This is horrific. I'll be taking her curse stone. Wow. Huh. All the haunted clampers needed was a source of fire? That was a close one. Now then, what will you do, Mr. Investigator? You're not a curse bearer, so I have no reason to kill you. But I won't show you mercy if you're going to try and capture me. Well, I guess that has nothing to do with audio, so let me just turn that back on. So what will it be? I still don't know how a curse works. It's too risky to make a move. Your employer's already dead anyway, so there's no reason for you to go out of your way to arrest me, right? I could still do my duty as a citizen and report you, you know? Oh, what a surprise. Is this when you decide to suddenly choose the side of righteousness? She was after the same thing, you know? There's no clean hands when it comes to soul dregs. Well, it looks like you don't have anything to say about that. I'll be taking my leave then. Bye-bye. Upon killing Haru Ishigima, a fellow curse-bearer, Ayame Tono obtained more than enough soul dregs for the Rite of Resurrection. However, it turned out that resurrecting someone who died a long time ago required an even larger amount. To fulfill her heart's deepest desires, she needed to harvest more. So, she waited for the sun to set, for the Feast of Shadows effects were at its peak. And she used the one-sided reed curse stone she had stolen from Fumichika Nejima. With it, she proceeded to kill all those whose personal information she knew, starting with those who mattered least to her. About the one-sided reed. Kills by dismemberment, one whose face, address, name, occupation, and location are all known by the curse bearer. Many of them were random men, gullible and disposable, drawn in by the allure of a female university student. One trustworthy victim among them all was Tetsuo Tsutsumi, who, being a curse bearer himself, was promptly targeted for his soul dregs. Tsutsumi death threw the investigators' efforts into disarray, allowing Ayame to evade capture. Afterwards, she acquired various address registers by phone book and systematically killed the people listed in them. She is incredible. There is Tetsuo. Like, this is what this is a story about what happens when you're a shitty dad. Women kill, and you know what? Hashtag girl boss. Ayame Tono. Ayame. Well, if it's a girl serial killer, you know, girl boss. Hashtag. I'm sorry, it's so funny. Like, I'm not joking. She is the funniest character in this entire game. Is she gonna, like, does she have a laughing pose, or is this the most she has? Wow. 2 endings in one video. We're just, like, masters of endings. I think it also makes it pretty easy for the game to be like, but all things must come to an end, and so in time the killings stopped. Sometime after the killings, a modern-day genius female ukiyo artist burst into the art scene. She introduced herself as the mysterious Mad Paintress, and her fame quickly grew as she presented one incredible work after another. Praised as the modern reincarnation of Katsushika Hakusai, she quickly made her own mark on history. Ayame's ending 4. Huh. Did I miss an ending here, maybe? Maybe there's another ending there. Well, time to not fail. Okay. Start after and many maybe baba booba. Can I exit out? No, I won't stop it. Besides, for you to get so shaken like that, you have a curse bearer, yeah. Yes, I am. I'm sure you've already noticed. Well, yeah, around last night. It was a little too obvious. Judging by your address, I'm guessing you got the haunting clappers? Yes, that's right. There's a lot of soul dregs on the table for killing a curse bearer, you know? I'm well aware. Did you get soul dregs when you killed Nejima? Of course! His curse stone already contained some soul dregs as well. I think killing one more curse bearer will be enough for the rite. You can combine soul dregs across multiple zones. Correct. All it needs is the prerequisite amount. As long as you've got that, it doesn't matter where you got them from. I see. Then, you won't mind if I took them, right? My, lady. You're quite motivated, aren't you? Ma'am, Richter, just shut up and watch. Do you smoke? Huh? Well, a little. Feel free to smoke if you want to. Please. Oh, it's okay. I don't see any ashtrays out on display either. Does no one smoke in this family? It's a little rare, isn't it? No one in the family does. Then why did you ask me for it all of a sudden? Well... I kinda wanna do it. Richter won't like me anymore though, and I like Richter a lot. Hey storyteller, don't bully me. Don't bully me in my house. Ah! Did you try to use your curse just now? It seems I didn't meet your curse conditions. I wonder if it's smart to secretly toss the lighter I was carrying earlier. When did? You made a mistake when you decided to ask me about smoking. The source of fire is the condition for your stone, then you won't see me falling for it now. But it's over now. Yes, I concede. Sorry, Ricky. What is your wish, Ayame? Is it really to resurrect Katsushika Hokusai? Yes. There's no life that holds more value than his. Including my own. You're saying you'd be willing to die if it meant bringing Hokusai back to life? Not all life is equal. At least, not to me. A life that can birth art with the power to move hearts is infinitely more worthy. Compared to that, the life of someone like me, someone who can't produce a thing, has no value. That's unhinged. yeah. I love how it's just like, she's not going to talk to any man, she does not respect them, and you know what? She's right for that. I'm still young, it's the age for wild thoughts. You're unhinged. I'm just gonna like frame that. I'm gonna frame it. But, aren't you the same as me? What? You've got life more important than your own. The life you may consider more important than the lives of many others. That's what you're doing this all for, isn't it? You're right. If I can save my son, I couldn't care less about my life or the lives of others. Who's unhinged now? And I'm a mother, it's what it is. Dang, the feelings of a proper parent are something else. Your father, the chief inspector. I met him not long ago. Oh, really? He came off a little stiff and awkward. Ah, there's a surprise. But there was something charming about his seriousness, and he seemed to care a lot about his daughter. Ugh, please cut it out. It's gross, you don't know a thing about us. Outsiders shouldn't butt into other family affairs. Then he may as well be a stranger to me now. Even if you've cut legal ties, you're still related by blood. Huh? We're not related at all. Huh? He probably thought, and I never noticed, but it wasn't hard for me to figure out that I wasn't related to them by blood. Oh my god, he adopted that daughter. He adopted that girl from 20 years ago in the Najima murders. Bro. Bro. You were the resurrection baby. You were the resurrection baby. Holy shit. Incredible. So you were adopted. Well, I got curious, so I looked into it. It was all pretty straightforward. I was a baby when they took me in. All they did was raise me, which, I mean, that makes you their child, but regardless. He did kind of a shit job, regardless. My mother got pregnant first shortly after she married, but it was a stillbirth. The whole affair left a deep wound on her heart. My father couldn't bear to see it, so it was for her sake that he did it. I was a substitute, as a replacement for the child she lost. She decided that all by himself. He didn't discuss it. Maybe he was trying to be thoughtful. Any baby would have been fine, as long as it would have comforted the woman he hoped become a mother. Putting it in such a way, it's not easy to raise a child. My mother was bewildered. Wouldn't you be, after being told to raise a baby that wasn't your own? Oh, that's complicated. That is very complicated. I understand where Tetsuo was at, but you gotta discuss that, you know? Like, adopted parents can be good, and not often, but, like, can be good parents for adopted children, but, you know, the notion that's still being... Like, there is an inherent trauma to being adopted and that relation, right? You know, it's not super simple. I know everyone has their own relationship to it, but I do know that that, like, is something that is true. In her case, admittedly, and Tetsuo doesn't seem like the smartest guy. Like, there was probably a reason that they divorced. Aside from him being, like, a police officer first kind of guy, but, like, also... Ayama, you're in, like, the worst position in the goddamned world. Yet my father just left everything behind to my mother and never lent a hand. Yeah. He's so damn selfish. The two of them grew apart. I watched them try and figure out how to understand each other, and the sight of it disgusted me. It was a messed up family, I tell you. I guess my presence was to blame for the rift to begin with. Not really, I think... I mean, what caused it was him doing that, not you existing. You shouldn't say that. I know he's bad at expressing himself and has his work, but that shouldn't be an excuse. You're right. But knowing all that, I couldn't take it anymore. It just made me want to hurry up and leave home and live on my own. Still rely on him for tuition and allowance, but that much is normal for most kids, right? Might as well use what you got, you know? I don't want him to start acting like he's my father just because he's doing the minimum. Fair, you know what? I cannot blame her for any of this. I'm sorry to hear that. Sounds like it was tough for all of you. I'm sorry. You're right. It's not my place to talk about your family. Well, I may have said too much. At least I don't have to worry about activating your conditions. You're right. How did you kill Fumichika Nejima? I'm not telling you. I only ask because it does concern me. He was one of the reasons my child was kidnapped. There's not much to say. We talked and he cleared the conditions for my stone. Did he show any signs of remorse over his past crimes? It didn't feel like he did, no. I see. The world is full of trash men, I tell ya. I agree. Not allowed to turn toward, In a way, I guess you could say you put a stop to the Nejima mass murder schemes. About that. There's no guarantee I won't do it myself. Huh? I picked up his curse stone of the one-sided reed. It really is something else. Unfortunately, I can't use a curse stone that's not mine until late at night. Really? Are you okay with telling me that? Ah, how silly of me. I let that slip. Tee-hee. But if that's your wish, then, what do you plan on doing if you don't get your wish? Oh, I haven't thought of it. I might just keep on trying to bring Hokusai back some other way. You really are obsessed. You and Hihaku chairwoman might be cut out from the same cloth. Who's that? She is an all-powerful vortex of obsession turned into a yokai-level proportions. You're saying I'll end up like her? Are you looking forward to such a future? I'd rather not wait till I'm old and creaking. I want it to happen now. I'll put my life on the line for Hokusai. Alrighty. With your cards on the table, you're out of options. It might be possible for Mr. Investigator there to pin me down by force. But he's not going to do that, is he? Correct. I won't take that risk. Not while your curse's conditions are unknown. Coward. I came to kill you and acquire your soul drugs, but after hearing you out, I got a question for you. Why don't you just give up on the Rite of Resurrection? You said it was your son, right? The one you want to give back? But haven't you done enough? I'm sure your son's content knowing you care for him this much. I'm truly willing to die to resurrect Hokusai, but you can't say the same, right? You're going to bring your son back, you have to be alive as well, right? In fact, what you really want is for the both of you to live, right? Yes. Well, even if you both lived to see it, your son would grow up knowing who you are, someone who stole the lives of others to bring him back. You would be bearing the burden of shouldering all the lives sacrificed for him on his little shoulders. Are you really okay with that? If you didn't even think about that, then what you're doing is not for your son. It's for yourself. Aren't you just bringing him back to fulfill your own desires? That's not... Ma'am, what she's saying may be harsh, but it holds a kernel of truth. Don't reduce yourself to nothing but a mother who would sacrifice anything for her son. But that's not... We discovered the truth behind his kidnapping. Next, you should take some time to come to understand your own feelings. I'll help you with every step of the way. Getting to the heart of things is what an investigator does. Wow. What will you do? Ma'am, I will relinquish your curse stone to a curse bearer. You will no longer be a curse bearer. You won't be a target anymore. Yame is giving you a chance. Think hard and then give your answer. I mean, giving up the curse stone is really the only option, right? Very well. Here. Thanks. I'm glad you could see reason. Ma'am, you made the right choice. Dang, you really didn't collect any soul drags, huh? I promised myself that if I ever used it, it would only be once. But in the end, it didn't come down to numbers. So they only needed to be carrying a flame. That seems pretty practical. Well, I'll be taking my leave then. There's no point in going after you for the soul dregs, so I'm off to the next curse bearer. Do you know who remains? You speak as if you've already figured it out. I've got a pretty good idea from our talk. What will you do? Do you plan to stop me? It's not my place to intervene. All right, then. Hey, lady. Can I borrow your phone? I don't mind. But who are you calling? The cops. I think it would be faster if I called them directly. Sorry, but that won't make me back down. Ma'am, that lighter, when did you... what? My clothes are on fire! There does not need to be an open flame, as long as there's a spark of fire on you. Yippee! Huh? Ma'am, please think this through. Ah! Ugh. 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 Hey Richter, hey bud, I had to get this ending. Ma'am. Why? I wanted a completion. It was the only way. Richter, could we settle any outstanding tabs now? Yeah. Sure. Yippee! Murder! Some days later. Amamori, you got a moment? Of course. What is it, Richter? Mr. Richter? I was just curious. Have you heard of the legend of the mother who prayed to the Sumida River and resurrected her dead child? What are you on about? The mother searched so desperately for her abducted child that she lost her mind. Her son was found dead in the Sumida River, so then she built a mound and continued to pray there until her son somehow emerged from the mound back from the dead. Or so the legend goes. I heard it's being adapted into a no play, too. Interesting. And? Well, it just made me thinking that legends really do exist. Sorry to ask you again, but what are you on about? What happened here? Because, the option I picked was obviously the right one, but I wanted the full completion, and I did get the complete Harui branch of Chapter 2, which means I had to do that for full completion. I'm glad the game makes it really, like, explicit what's full completion, what isn't, you know? Makes it easier. I like how these credits are slower. It's like, yeah, you know what? This is like a legit ending. Like, you know, we can't blame her for this. Like, the other ones, like, they're clearly bad ends, but, you know, we can do this one a little slower. This feels more like a legit ending than anything else, you know? Well, there's clearly nothing more to the game, so don't worry, guys. There's nothing else left to the game. There's nothing else. We're done with it now. Video games were never meant to be long, actually. They're all meant to be very short. I say after, what, like 12 episodes of this? That's Richter's little music. Never mind. It is what it is. Welcome to my office. Might be small and dirty, but welcome. Come on, Ernestine, say hello. That's it. Good girl. Oh, and that boy over there, that must be... Hey kid, I'm a private investigator. I worked with your mother not too long ago. What's that? You want to be an investigator when you grow up, too? That's great. It's so much better than becoming a police officer. Hey, I'm Amori. Didn't you tell the kid to give up on his dreams? I think it's a great idea. Why don't you bring us some tea instead? Pardon me. Let's start over. What brings you to my humble office today? Huh. 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 Like the correct option is giving it to Ayame. But fascinating. I'm like looking here at the achievements, by the way, with the Nejima and the Ayame, they're considered the bad endings. While with Harui, it's like reach her ending. So that's really interesting to me. And the fact that the credits were slower, it did consider it like an ending to the game. Which is fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, like, clearly the option is to give it, and, like, this is going to be a final confrontation between father and daughter. Curious to see how that'll turn out, but that's... fascinating. Preparing for battle. Together with Yoshimi's fiancée Mayu, Yako and Mio report all they've learned so far to Tatsumi and the others. Putting all their stories together, they can finally see the final objective at long last. Mr. Tatsumi, this is Mayu Chozawa. Ah, so you're the one. Sumida Police was looking for you. Glad to see you're alright. Sorry, I should have told someone I was okay. I was just so pissed off. Falling right into Hihaku's hands, I got myself into some deep shit. Hihaku seems like they're still up to something. We'll have to make sure they clean up their act once and for all. Get it? 'Cause they sell soap? Nice one, boss! You're really on the top of your game today. Stop trying to make me feel better. I shouldn't have said anything. More importantly, Mayu, thank you for your cooperation with Yoshimi. We'll get to the bottom of it, I promise. Oh, you must be Detective Ario. I heard a lot about you from Hajime. I'll be counting on you. Catch whoever did this, no matter what. We've all but finished investigating the crime scene, and the police have mostly left, but they're letting us use the school as our base of communications as per Inspector Tatsumi's request. Detective Aria was nice enough to get us something to drink earlier. Seeing a detective take his time for little things like that helps me put my mind at ease. I bet he's making jokes and stuff like this because he doesn't want to stress us out. I wonder if he's able to stay so calm because of experience, or if he's just that kind of person. Mayu rushed to Hitomi's place and back for us. She's been trying to appear calm, but I'm sure she must still be in shock. I'm not sure why, but I feel fired up. I feel like we're close to the moment of truth. I think Mio feels the same. Oh, Mr. Tatsumi. I received a message from Paranormal Affairs earlier. It wasn't from Nakagoshi, but I had someone look into something for me. So even the desk jockeys are lending a hand. Brings a tear to your eye. So what'd they say? Right. On the Onmyoji woman who was in the Edo at the time of the Honjo incident. She was a person of great beauty and discerning taste, but also shamelessly did whatever she wanted. She seemed to match the person who was in the resentful memory for the foot-washing mansion. Huh, so she must be the one who fought out Seiman over the right. And they found that her name was Ashino. Huh. Ashino, huh? What else? That's all. That's not much help. Oh, but apparently she was quite the powerful Onmyoji. She died bearing a similarly powerful resentment. It's possible that she became a vengeful spirit with a connection to the Seven Mysteries. A vengeful spirit? If any descendants of Ashina or other people's resides are closely aligned with her life today, there's a possibility that the spirit awakened and possessed them. Yeah, you mentioned before that spirits can possess people who are closely in sync with them. Oh, no, wrong button. I just want Yoko to come back. I just want her to come back, please. Though this, of course, doesn't mean that the spirit houses a completed personality. Her resentment and her spirit power, those are the parts of her that would have the strongest influence. Since Seimon's descendants are still around in the present, it wouldn't be surprising if Ashino's were too. They might as well be desk jockeys, but they wouldn't give us this info if it was only speculation. They must have found some part of evidence looking into abnormal phenomena or things like that. Oh, the Feast of Shadows. There it is, our abnormal phenomena. Mio, what do you mean? The person who initiated the curse this time, who we've been calling the Mastermind, might be possessed by a vengeful spirit of an Onmyoji named Ashino, the enemy of Seimon. Do you have any idea who it could be, or where we could find them? Like, if you looked at them, Mio, would you be able to tell right away? It's like how I didn't realize Michio had fused with your consciousness, Yako. Common spirits will leak spirit energy left and right, so I can notice them by just looking carefully. But then spirits of a higher caliber fuse with someone's consciousness, detecting them isn't so simple. Oh. I'm sorry. My skills still need a lot of work, and I don't have anything else to offer. Neo, that's not true at all. You're fine. We'll make this work somehow or the other. Thanks. Girl camaraderie. Oh, Mayu, did you meet with Tomi? Yeah, I met her at the spot I was told. She was acting tough, but I think the incident with Hajime really shook her up. I briefly explained our situation and had to give her Hajime's talisman to me. Here. This is what you're looking for, right? Yay! Oh, I don't get to look at it, I'm sorry. Yes, I believe that's it. Thank you so much. Mr. Tatsumi, about this. Right, you should hold on to it, Mia. Not like we could use it as is. Try to figure out what we'll need to do once we have both halves together. Understood. I'll see what I can do. Ah, I heard you had a cursed stone too? Yeah, I should give this to you then, right? Those things are really a pain in the ass. I'll gladly hand it over to you before I start getting crazy ideas. So, this is the beckoning light, huh? Alright. It's safe and sound with me. Sorry you won't be able to bring him back. Don't worry about it. He and I were always prepared for the worst anyway. What the? What's wrong? Damn. The trigger for the beckoning light curse is some serious shit. Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I said it'd give me some weird ideas. See what I mean now? How's it work? I'll leave you a note you can read later. We have more important things to worry about now. I'm curious, what is it again? No, wrong one. Right. Mr. Tsutsumi? Does that make it 5 curse stones that you've gathered now? Where the hell does the canal go? It should be. I want to get the other 4 under wraps as soon as we can. Let's see, I have no idea about the Whispering Canal. Someone made off the one-sided reed which Nejima had. Well, I mean... Nope, wrong one. That is so funny to me. Well, no, it's Tetsuo, but that is really funny to me how it's literally just split between Tetsuo and Ayame. Yeah, damn shame. After that, we don't know much about the Taiko of Tsugaru either, do we? So we can assume curse bearers are prowling around still without those out one. Well, one of them is your daughter. What a headache. I hope we can find them soon. Come to think of it, did old man Ashimiya end up getting away? So word's already out, huh? I was cornered, but managed to take a hostage and escape, is what I heard on the radio. What happened after that? So that's all they're reporting. Here's what really happened. He was killed? And the hostage was Tsumi's daughter, whose whereabouts are still unknown? Yep, his daughter showing up was a huge surprise. Even Boss couldn't believe it. Damn it, where the hell do you expect? No one could have seen that coming. So there's already an emergency search underway for her as a key witness and suspect. I'll be rejoining the search for her after we're done here. Key witness and suspect. But wasn't she a hostage? Could she have killed Nejima and fled the scene? Well, it's a possibility. If we're talking possibilities, might as well tell them everything. It's very likely Nejima was killed by a curse stone. What? By a curse bearer? Oh, it's already evening, so the effect of the Sheaths of Shadows should be starting to return. Yeah, which makes it likely that a curse was used to kill him. Boss, you're repeating yourself. Try to calm down for a sec. But that would mean the inspector's daughter is probably a curse bearer, right? Huh? Did you say something? Maybe I'm losing my hearing in my old age. Boss, you can hear just fine. Don't play the old man card just because you want to get out of something. We even talked about how she might have the Taiko Sugaru if that's the case. Did we? My memory's a little hazy. You got a soft spot for your daughter, don't you, Inspector? Ugh. It just hits a little close to home now. But either way, we have to find her as soon as possible. This one's all set. Do you know where the other talisman is? Yeah, probably. This is Hajime's last job. Finish it for him, okay? We will. Basically, I believe the mastermind behind everything is a woman possessed by the vengeful spirit of Suddenly, I'm tired. The spirit of the Onmyoji Ashino. Ashino. I see. Is this mastermind also the one who killed Hajime trying to get the Ricket of Fate Xeen scroll? Yes, I think that's very likely. So that's how it is, huh? And then I want you to catch them no matter what. Okay, so... I guess this is the end of his family line too then, huh? All the people who inherited that talisman before him are already gone. Ugh. Ugh. That's why we'll be joining the search as soon as we're done here. One more thing, there's a very good chance that his daughter has Michio Shiraishi's talisman. All the more reason for you to get back to that search. Best of luck. What the hell has she gotten herself into? Now, is that everything we needed to chat about? If you don't need anything else, we'll be going back to that search. There actually is one thing. Oh, what's that? Just completely hypothetically. Hypothetically, what if the inspector's daughter was the mastermind? I mean, she's a woman. It seems like she was after the talismans. Sorry, I don't really understand what you mean. Boss, come on, we have to look at the facts. But that would mean Inspector Tatsumi would also have to be one of Ashino's descendants. Well... Alright, you're just a normal person, right, Inspector? Unless that is why you're so resistant to the paranormal. Teehee, oh ho 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 ho. You guys don't know. I don't believe I've ever heard anything about being related to some Onmyoji. Oh. But, well, if you put it like that, her being the mastermind, it's possible. Really? I say possible, but I mean unlikely is what I want to think. Damn it, I don't even want to imagine it. Boss, if we're going to consider it, you're going to have to do it properly. No dragging your heels about it. No. It's not that. There's something I never told her, never wanted to tell her. The truth is, she's not my real daughter. She knows, buddy. What? 20 years ago. Well, it's a long story, but we took her in when she was just a baby. Do you know anything about her birth parents? You could say, I do, I guess, but really I don't know anything. What's that supposed to mean? I don't get it. Ario? You heard what I said, didn't you? Just now? About 20 years ago? No, boss, it can't be! Nejima's! That's right. We've arrested Fumichika Nejima. There was a baby at his house on the brink of death. That was my daughter, Ayame Tatsumi. She goes by Ayama Tono now. What? Someone had to take care of her. A baby holds no blame for the circumstances she came from. But boss, according to Nejima, that baby, his former love reincarnated using black magic. What? Personally, I think that story is bullshit. According to Nejima. My goodness. It's hard to believe that Nejima's behavior, but could it really be true? I've got a few doubts. I had to question whether the Shino woman really existed in the first place. There are no records of her, and no body was found, and her name never came up once during the investigation. Even if this woman really did exist, I'm skeptical that someone could be reincarnated as a baby through black magic. I agree. No matter how much you look at it, a spell with that much effect is that hard to believe. Even the supernatural has rules that must be followed. It seems more likely he deluded himself, not wanting to recognize that the spell he risked his life on failed to work. That's my thinking too. I mean, like, one of the suspects that he killed was pregnant, so it's more natural conclusion that the baby of his and Shino's, that she died in stillbirth. Child inside stabbed to death. As long as we don't know Shino's origins, we have to consider the possibility that she could be a descendant of a Shino. Huh, if nothing else, their names are pretty similar. Okay, assuming all that's true for a moment, Ayame gets taken away by Nejima and then killing him. That would mean she killed her own father. Calm down, this is all still conjecture, but no, now that Nejima is dead, we have no means to investigate. So regardless of everything, there's only one thing that matters. She's my daughter. And her parent, I'm responsible for her. Nothing can change that. Even if I am a kind of shitty dad. Alright, we should get back to the search. We'll find her and clear all this up. Yes, sir? The talisman you young ladies are looking for has something to do with this as well. I'd appreciate it if you'd help us finish it and find it. So if anything happens, please call the police. We will. I'm worried about Hitomi, so I'm gonna head to where she is. I'll be waiting to hear some good news from you all. Conclusion. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, 6 p.m. Sumida River. Hey. How long has it been since we last saw each other? 3 years? How have you been? I think the last time was when you came to see me was after deciding to go to university. It wasn't because I wanted to see you. I just needed money to pay my tuition. Not one to mince words, huh? You came alone, right? Yeah, it's just me. Make it sound like I'm handing over ransom money for hostages. I just don't want to get caught, okay? Never thought the day I'd see that you'd called the police. There's something I needed to see you about. Well, alright then. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's go through things one by one. 1 second, I gotta check for a mockingbird. There's gotta be one around here somewhere. God. Sorry. The soul of Richter is in me. This is so sad. Yami. This world is so sad. The sun is starting to dip down into the horizon. This long, long day is about to end. We don't have to worry about Nejima's threat anymore, but I sure didn't expect this to happen. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bling. So I didn't get them all. I'm missing a bunch. Approach the net. Jackpot! Look up at the first house, along the morning green, in the brick garden. Waiting at the intersection, on a bridge pillar at night. Revisiting the park at night. I guess I missed some. Whatever. She sure has changed over the past 3 years. Got more of a grown-up air about her. Hard to believe she's that same little girl who would get omelet all over the place when she took her, all over her face when we took her out to eat. Wait a minute. Is that how far back I have to go for a happy memory together? He's aware. No wonder she hates me. As long as he's aware, you know? I'm sorry I couldn't save you from Nejima. Are you hurt? Wow, I didn't expect that from you. Huh? I thought you'd just start questioning me before you bothered to ask how I was doing. Ah, well, I am still your father. Ooh, maybe boss can handle this after all. I'm fine. I managed to get away somehow or other. Right, I'm glad. How is she? Yasuko, I mean. Mom? I haven't kept in touch with her. I've been on my own this whole time. I'm sure you reached out to her, though, haven't you? I did call her this morning, actually, just to make sure she was safe. She's been running around all over the place looking for you. Sounds like she's fine to me. Did you contact her after I called the police to tell her you heard from me? I did not. Well, I've heard you're into nightlife and staying out late these days. I didn't want her to worry more than she already was. You're one to talk. Oh. Oof. He doesn't know the reason. This is the most awkward conversation in the entire game. It's really good. Why are you willing to go so far for the Rite of Resurrection? What do you want with it? Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. You just call it stupid and dismiss the idea completely. Come on, I wouldn't do that. Maybe together we can think of a way to get you what you want without resurrection. I want to bring Hatsushika Hokusai back to life. Hokusai? Wait. The Hokusai, the ukiyo-e artist? That Hokusai? You want to bring him back to life? That'd be quite the feat, huh? I heard you liked his art, but... Why would you do something so stupid? Tatsumi! See? Gah. The only time I ever felt like there was a place I belonged was when I was immersed in the dreamlike world of ukiyo-e. Though I'm sure you never noticed. Really? I had no idea. It saved me. Hokusai is the reason I am alive today. I didn't know you felt so hopeless. You would only realize it now. But it's too late. Feeling sorry won't do either of us any good. Admittedly, like, this part does feel very honest. I don't know, like... it's not like trying to account for Tatsumi. Like, you can like him as a character, but understand he's a little shit father. And, like, I think the game is, like, he realizes that, too, to an extent, and he's not trying to, like, make up for it. Like, what she's saying is true. Nope, wrong button. Yonk! From the moment I heard about the Rite of Resurrection, I knew that it was my destiny. If this is all I'd ever accomplished, I'll die happy. You're really serious about this. You have a curse stone, don't you? I do. You wouldn't happen to feel like handing it over, would you? The police will handle any damages the curse caused. Now, before you do any more wrong with it. I'm not giving it up. Of course not. Me being a curse bearer. Are you after my life? That's exactly what I'm here for. I didn't come to chat. You can talk all you want, but as soon as the condition for my curse is met, I'll use it. No hesitation. Or do you have more than one? How many curse stones do you have? 3. Not that it matters. 3, huh? Can I ask you one thing? Do you know anything about the talisman Michio Shiraishi had? Michio Shiraishi? From the car crash you were in with that Namagaki guy. Oh, with Yutaro? Yeah, it was there. Yutaro? That sounds like you and him were, I mean... not really. I don't like him. He was kind of a boring guy. What? You're serious? But he said... you're getting off track, Mr. Titsumi. The talisman. Go back to the talisman. It is so funny how these 3 are just hiding behind the bushes listening to the most awkward father-daughter conversation in the whole wide world. We shouldn't have relied on him for this. Well, if you don't plan on seeing him again, it doesn't matter. But with the hit-and-run case on top of everything, you're really in deep. Is that really what you wanted to talk about? I mean, yeah. I mean, no. I mean, tell me about the talisman. Did you take it from the scene? You mean this? That's it. I picked it up at the scene of the crash. I didn't want to leave fingerprints behind. That's all? There really is no other reason? What's the big deal? Is it really that special, this whole thing? Yeah, it's real important. Would you mind giving it to me? Important? For what? For putting a stop to the curse of the 7 mysteries. Oh. So that means if I give you the talisman, I won't be able to use the rite. So no way. I'm definitely keeping it. Ugh, screw that one up. Mr. Tsutsumi, you really can't do any better than that? This is so funny. 3 people with better social skills than this man. Come on, the talisman. Come on, guys, I'm trying my hardest here. Ignore that. I'm not handing them over. Okay. Will you give me the talisman? What? No way, I can't lose the right. Then I'll put this bluntly. Did you kill Nejima? And if I did, would you hide me from the police? Ugh. I don't know if I... That's what I thought. Your job is the only thing you really care about. Yes. I did it. You. I don't even think he knew I was a curse bearer. He brought me to those gardens and I realized while he was talking to me that he fulfilled the condition of my curse. So I just gave it a shot. I didn't think it would actually activate. So, there's no going back now. That's not true. You can still make things right before you make them worse. Then let me say it another way. This is my chance and I won't throw it away. Your chance. Did Nejima say anything to you? He said a lot of bad things about you, that's for sure. Yeah, not surprised there. He said a lot of bad things about you back. So I said a lot of things about... So I said a lot of bad things about you back. I didn't want to be outdone. Harsh. But in that sense, I felt like just a little, like he was my kindred spirit. No, kindred spirit. What are you talking about? He is a dangerous criminal. But I'm a murderer now too, aren't I? Maybe we're not so different. No, you're different. Am I? Well, maybe not that different. But at least you're honest. I know I haven't been the best father, but I wonder, of all the fathers in the world, are there any who wouldn't cover up for their child if they committed a crime? How should I know? You're the detective here. You must have seen plenty of cases like that. Yeah. Plenty of parents take the fall for their children or give them a place to hide. As a person, it's wrong, but maybe as a parent, it's the right thing to do? I don't know. But I think having a father like that Would make it easier for him to go advice if I did something wrong, if I did do something wrong. Maybe there's a sense of security in knowing that whatever happened, you'd at least have one person on your side. I see. So that's what it would take to be on your side. I can't do that. That's okay. I wasn't really expecting you to. She called the police asking for me by name and demanded I come meet her alone. They asked if I wanted a team to set a perimeter, but I had them stand down. Sure, she might make a run for it, but I don't want her panicking if she has a cursed stone. Besides, I'm not trying to take her in by force. So Najima really didn't tell you anything? Not really, no. I think I let you talk enough. Mind letting me have a turn? By all means. You're hiding something. You're hiding something from me, aren't you? You are. I think you should just let her know. You are. Well, sure, you can't live as long as I have without having a secret or two. Of course you'll try to dodge the question. Now then, let me tell you how my cursed stone, the Taiko of Sugaru, works. What? My curse bludgeons to death anyone I find out is hiding something from me. So if you try to cover something up I know is true, I'll be able to use my curse on you. With that in mind, can I ask you one more thing? I get it. Why you wanted to see me. Then let me tell you one thing first. The Evergreen Beach has a similar condition. I can use my curse on anyone who tells me a lie. What? How's that fair? You use that curse on me? As an officer of the law, it's inexcusable, but as a parent with a duty to his child, I have no other choice. Are you threatening me? Do you really think that's enough to convince me to do as you say? I don't want to use it either, but it's for your sake. I suggest you try not to lie. Go ahead, then. If I lie, then so be it. Okay. I'm gonna ask. If you try to hide it now, you really will die. Am I? Am I your real daughter? I mean, yes. I'm just a baby you picked up to replace your stillborn, aren't I? You can never bring yourself to tell me who my real parents were, so you just kept hiding it. It's still too much of a coward to tell me, huh? I don't like the truth. You don't like the truth, so you won't admit it. I mean, you're still very much his daughter, even if he's a shit dad, you know? That my real parent is the man I was just with? Ayame. Is that all you have to say? That I only have one answer for you. You are honestly and truly our daughter. Nothing more, nothing less. Even now you're still trying to hide it? Are you really that stupid? Is your pride worth dying for? I mean, it's not a lie. He's not trying to hide it. Like, I don't think he's trying to hide it at all. It's not a lie. I should have known. Why? Why go this far to hide it? Ayame, listen. Huh? How? Ugh. Ayame, be proud. No matter what happens, you're our precious daughter. No way, how are you still alive? I don't know what that piece of shit Nejima filled your head with, but you're not Shino. And you're not a Shino either. You're our daughter, Ayame Tsutsumi. And, alright, I guess it's Tano now. Well, that's fine too. Tatsumi, Tano, both will be a part of who you are. Why are you doing this? It's not true. The cruise proves it's not. Sure, you probably don't have many of us playing together, and I did leave everything at home for your mom, and I was barely ever there for you. Even so, when I was working, no matter how grisly a crime scene I was at, all I ever wanted was you to grow up happy. That's it. Why say all this now? So, do one last thing for me. I want you to tell me the truth, too. If you lie to me now, I'm taking you with me. Stop, I can't. The mastermind behind all of this, the one who awakened the curses of the seven mysteries in order to use the rite, wasn't you, was it? No. No, I wouldn't even know how to do that. And picking up Michio Shiraishi's talisman. It's just coincidence, right? Huh? Yeah, I already told you that. Ah, good. Hearing that, I can rest easy. You're nothing like Nejima. You can stand on your own two legs, you can keep living without escaping into a fantasy. You can hate me, you can dream all the crazy dreams you want. Just don't ever trying to do good. You're a victim of your curse, too. It's not too late to atone for the hit and run and for using the curse. Don't run away. You can still make things right. I know you can, because you're my daughter. And after that, just live the best life you can. Dad. Ah. Boss! That day, at 6:18 p.m., Ayame Tono was taken into custody and my cat started screaming. Tetsuo Tutsumi's death was confirmed at the same time. The 5 cursed stones possessed by Tutsumi, as well as the 3 given up by Ayame, lost their curse bearers. This temporarily extinguished their spirit power, allowing Mio Kurosuzu to obtain them and seal them away without difficulty. The Yin talisman possessed by Ayame Tono was recovered and entrusted to Mio Kurosuzu as well. Thus, any massacre that could possibly be caused by this iteration of the curse prevented before it could ever happen. Or, so it seemed. Files updated, open updates page. Let's see, what's the official story? So the one-sided read is probably, let's see. Or rather, so the beckoning light is probably Sugaru, right? Yeah, because it's for, when it was become a curse bearer, so I think this is probably Simon. Let's read. So, one-sided read. Kills by dismemberment, one who the face, address, name, age, vocation, and occupation are known by the curse bearer. Okama was a lovely woman. She was spirited, worked hard, and lived a frugal yet pleasant life, until her husband hanged himself. My husband, a swindler, who would believe such a thing? Okama was determined to clear her husband's name, that is, when she met Tomezo, a man who was a stranger in these parts. This man must be one of the daimyo's spies. It appears that after my husband, I will be next. So be it. But what is it he's hunting for? Okoma, putting the airs of a woman mourning her husband, went to the bridge at nights to seek information from Tomezo. She soon discovered that she was right and that her husband had been deceived. Okoma decided to bring her newfound knowledge to the daimyo, much to Tomezo's alarm. Angered at being less led, he confronted her on the bridge, but Okoma would not listen. She cursed him, called him vile names, and eventually his patience had worn thin. Blood splattered everywhere, and by the time he returned to his senses, he was already too late. He looked over the bridge into the river below, and saw the corpse of a woman, missing both an arm and a leg. And this is the wife of this man. Alright, let's see what this one's about. Hiding something from the curse bearer. The deep sounds of drums once more reverberates through the night air. How long has it been since we started hearing them each day? Could it be coming from the daimyo's residence? I've heard they have a drum in their fire watchtower instead of a wooden clacker. But I don't see a fire, so why are they sounding the drum? Then one morning, a body was found. Isn't that old man Kanzo, the ukiyo-e painter? He lived nearby, but he had been down and out for years, despite his best efforts to sell his works. Every now and then his granddaughter would visit, and he would teach her to paint. It was the old man's only pleasure. One day, his granddaughter told him about her dreams. Curses, souls, resurrection. Hearing her tale, the old man was gripped by a sudden zeal and began to paint with a great fervor. His work quickly became famous, enchanting all those who had viewed the strange imagery. Even the daimyo had paid notice. What possibly could have happened? The people whispered to each other. It almost looked like he had been beaten like a drum. That one's still unclear. Jun Ario, 8 p.m. Sorry for keeping you so late, Mio. I can't take my mind off the curse bearer who was never found. Oh, it's no problem for me. I usually work it late at night anyway. Where is Yoko? Did you see Yako home safely? Yep, we sent her home in the patrol car earlier. Apparently, she put up quite a fuss saying she wanted to see things through to the end. Thank you. The Feast of Shadows was starting to take effect, so it would have been dangerous. Let's look around. 8 p.m. with no one around. This place is as silent as a grave. No one wants to go out at night in these parts, except my cat who's meowing, after everything that's happened the past 2 days. Meow? Yes, Bentley. Meow? No. Shut up. Damn it, I thought. There it is. Everyone shut up. Mockingbird number 20. Budgie Mary. Yeah, I definitely missed a few, but that's fine. That's life sometimes. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh. What's wrong? Next is Detective Aria? What? I can't get my mind off the remaining cursed stone, the Whispering Canal, and who the mastermind is. But we have to deal with that thing before I can worry about any of that. Where is she? Yoko? Fukunaga? Girl, where are you? I miss her. How's it going with the 2 talismans? Have you figured out the location of the Record of Fatesian scroll? I have, more or less. When I combined the contents of the 2 talismans, they formed a seal which could be undone. The things inside the talisman that looked like scraps of wood were actually a tiny scroll kept folded up by the seal. Who would have thought that the talismans would actually contain the scroll itself? So that's the Yin scroll then. What's it say? Well, there's one more seal we have to undo to open the scroll. It's giving me some trouble, so I was actually hoping you could help me out. Alright, unlocking the seal. Got it. Sure thing. I don't know what I'll be able to do, but let me at it. Wow, I didn't expect you to be so eager to help. It's oddly reassuring. Okay, let's see. There are 5 seals holding the scroll shut. I think we have to remove them in the correct order. Each seal has a different design. A carp, a light, a beech leaf, a taiko drum, and a reed. Remove the 5 seals in the right order? Okay. If we get it wrong, is it gonna, go boom? No, we'll just have to try again. I tested it once already. Oh, okay. You already tried it. Cool. I think it's devised to be so the seal can only be undone if the curses for the right have already been unleashed. And I think it is a hint to opening it hidden in something related to the curses. Just let me know when you're ready. Okay, so we have carp, light, beech, taiko, reed. Reed is after beech, no matter what. So wherever beech, then reed. Regardless. Let me take a look. Nope. Okay. Well, this is carp, so... Her father disappeared. Those who came to express, Toki, mother, father... I feel like this is after the events of... So I think Harp is after the events, because I think it might be hinting that the beech and the reed are maybe her parents? Possibly? So I'm going to just jot down Carp for after that. Beckoning lights. Well, I think the beckoning light is last, which leaves Tycho. I think Tycho is definitely before Carp. I don't know where Tycho takes place in between. Let's see. Maybe there's some hint. Received us. Optimistic. Da, 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 da. Okay, so Tycho first, maybe? Let's try this. Tycho, Beach, Reed, Carp, Light. In one go, baby. That's how you do it. Hell yeah. Wow, you got it right. It's open. The one thing I do know about this specific sequence is I did see some fan art because apparently you can fail up to 120 times just how many combinations you can do. And someone was just like, 119. You almost got it. And Mio has like something unique to say, which is very funny. I'm probably going to reblog it on Tumblr. I think that's where it is. So. Getting it right on the first try, that's amazing. You're a real pro. I just know all the stories. I'm using my brain to figure out things, Mio. Nothing to it, really. Told you you could leave it to me. Now I can finally read what's written inside. Let's see. Hell yeah, I'm a genius. Alright. It is said that Seimin Tsuchikimikado, Record of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared the descendants involved with the Honjo incident might become cursed and use the collection of soul drugs for the Rite of Resurrection. Let's see. The text has been preserved in the form of two talismans held by Ajime Yoshimi and Michikoshi Raishi. It contains the full account of the Honjo incident, and the following is written in Seimin's hand. I bequeath the scroll to the future generation to be used in the event that calamity should arise from this grievous incident. Those who seek the bestowal of disaster must gather the three items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. My soul, that is, my curse echo. My body, that is, a living continuation of my bloodline. My spirit, that is to say, my own consciousness. Alright, let's see. Here we go. This is a story that takes place in the late Edo period. There was once a family that lived in row houses in Honjo. The family consisted of a Netsuke craftsman named Jinkichi, his wife Koma, and their daughter Toki. They enjoyed a poor but happy existence. One day, they took in a man made by the name of who claimed to be a Shumanchi. He was on the run, having barely escaped the name of blank, which we can assume is Seimin. He was on the run, having barely escaped with his life from something or other, wound up in Honjo. The tough circumstances had left him sick and destitute. Jinkichi felt sorry for the man and decided to shelter him. The stranger was deeply grateful for the kindness and cared of Jinkichi's family, as without it he would have surely died, and told them thusly on the day of his departure, I want to give you thanks, but unfortunately I have nothing of value. He paused and then asked, is there anyone you want to bring back to life? It turned out that the man's true name was Tsuchikimikado, Seimin, a descendant of the renowned Onmyoji, and he had been researching for the fabled Rite of Resurrection. For his crime in unearthing this forbidden rite, he was chased out by his family, but he wrote down everything in the spell he named Record of Fates while on the run. Whoever sought to perform the rite would need to kill people and gather the soul drugs. Seimin had only researched the rite out of a spirit of inquiry, but thought himself willing to use the rite if it was the sake of Jinkichi's family. However, Jinkichi shook his head. Sacrificing someone is unthinkable. We didn't help you because we wanted anything in return, so you owe us nothing. He declined the unbelievable offer. Seimin bowed his head in gratitude countless times with those words and left his house. In the same area, there lived an ukiyo-e artist known as Old Man Kanzo. His art didn't sell much, but he often looked after Toki while Jinkichi and Komo were out working. Young Toki heard Seimin talk about the Rite of Resurrection, but being too young to comprehend it, regaled it to Old Man Kanzo as a fair story of fiction. Old Man Konzo, inspired by the story, was filled with renewed vigor, put his heart and soul into his next payment. The next piece, centered about the theme of resurrection, became an instant hit in town. Jinkichi, being a shrewd businessman, saw an opportunity and jumped on the bandwagon by carving Netsuke connected to the Old Man Konzo's ukiyo-e. He made up stories about his Netsuke, telling people that their blessings were connected to resurrection, and his business rapidly flourished. That man unknowingly left us a wonderful gift, thought Jinkichi and his family, but were unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. Before long, word of the Old Man Konzo's wonderful ukiyo-e reached the ears of a local daimyo, and he was summoned to the lord's residence. But what awaited him was not praise, but cruel torture at the hands of Ashino, a female onmyoji who was in pursuit of Seimin. It was her who pressured Seimin into researching the Rite of Resurrection, which she secretly planned to preserve her beauty for all eternity. Ashino took advantage of the fact that the daimyo's heart was weak and frail following the loss of his family and manipulated him into capturing Old Man Konzo, the source of the recent rumors about resurrection. Tell me where you heard of the Rite of Resurrection, Ashino demanded as the brutal beatings continued. It was said the eerie sound of beatings rang out like the beating of a taiko drum night after night, reaching into the watchtower of the Sugaru residence. In the end, Ashino's cruel torture secured her information of Jinkichi's family and the existence of the Record of Fates. The daimyo sent his chief retainer to bring in Jinkichi, and the torture resumed afresh with the new captive. This time, she intended to obtain the whereabouts of Seimin and the location of the Record of Fates. Jinkichi didn't know where Seimin went, but even as he did, had no intention of telling her and stubbornly kept his mouth shut. The torture was pushed too far, and Jinkichi was unintentionally killed before he spoke a word. The daimyo had Jinkichi's curse changed from a beech tree and declared, unable to bear the gift of deceiving the masses with false rumors and resurrection, Jinkichi had committed suicide. This, too, was all part of Ashino's plan to send a message to the common folk, especially in the increasing number of those who sought out the right for themselves. News of what happened to Jinkichi spread, and people interested in the rite, wondering if the stories of resurrection all were but a lie. But the rumors were that the daimyo's word was perhaps all that truthful, spread quicker than when a dancer claimed to have witnessed the chief retainer's cold-blooded handiwork at first hand, and Honjo fell into unrest once more. The chief retainer arrested the girl and proposed a deal to put a stop to the rumors. The girl wanted to say that she just wanted attention and retracted her story by saying it was entirely made up. In exchange, she would be given the most wondrous stage to perform on, but when the day came, she suffocated by the mask prepared for the performance. Unbeknownst to her, the mask had been covered in glue as a part of the plan to kill and silence her. Koma had never believed for a moment that her husband Jinkichi had committed suicide. She was certain that someone was behind his death and asked around persistently for names, addresses, and other information she could find out the connections of the daimyo. The chief retainer would not allow things to escalate any further and had Tomezo, a ronin who once served as a spy, go after her. However, she turned the table on him, shouting, "Was it you who killed my husband, wasn't it?" Confronted with the accusation, Tomezo flew into a blind rage and cut Toma down in broad daylight. Ordered to take responsibility for his failure by committing seppuku, he exposed the daimyo's plot as he disemboweled himself and the lantern of the soba cart used to give coded symbols. With both their parents gone and through means unbeknownst to her, Toki found herself to be all alone. One day, late at night, she went searching for her parents and met her doom falling into a canal where she drowned. Meanwhile, the chief retainer had made no headway whatsoever in finding Seimin's whereabouts, and an incensed Ashino decided to set fire to his residence, burning him alive. In truth, all those connected to the events thus far were cursed by Ashino, so that their souls would turn into soul dregs upon death, which she had been collecting. All she needed was to perform the rite now was to get her hands on the Record of Fates. Something was seriously at work behind the recent string of strange incidents on Honjo. Seimin returned to where, but he was found that it was too late. He broke down in tears when he finally learned of the unfortunate unnatural deaths the Jinkichi family had met. Seimin realized it was the handiwork of Ashino when he'd heard their soul drugs had been collected, and decided he had to prevent any further sacrifices from happening from confronting her on Hononji Bridge. What ensued was a fierce battle of spells that endured until the break of dawn. Those who did not know any better only saw what was believed to be eerie flashes and supernatural orbs of light. At the end of the long battle, Ashino defeated Seimin and obtained the Record of Fates, but he placed a curse upon her foot. Ashino dragged her foot, corrupted and horribly inflamed, and sought refuge at a nearby residence of a retainer, and angrily demanded that they wash her foot. Ashino died then, and there, filled with agony and her foot cursed and rotten. Seimin, too, having sustained serious wounds during their fight, died on the day on Hoanji Bridge, still filled with regret. However, Seaman came back to life. Knowing that there would be enough soul drugs in place during their confrontation, he had prepared a spell that would activate the Rite of Resurrection upon his passing. Feeling that his curiosity was responsible for the terrible tragedy that had unfolded, he was left with a keen understanding of why the Rite of Resurrection was forbidden and became determined to seal it away. Indeed, the reason he had been resurrected himself was for that very purpose. However, he did not know what had come of the Record of Fates. When nothing to seal away, he instead used the remaining soul drugs to turn 9 of the Tsuke made by Jinkichi into ritual implements to be sealed away in Honjo. He placed the spell so that, should someone try to activate the Rite of Resurrection again, all 9 pieces will awaken at once, and to pass the whole truth of these events to future generations, he wrote everything down in the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll to pass down to his descendants. Meanwhile, the townspeople kept silent about the incidents out of fear of being cursed. However, these occurrences were so strange that gossip about it truly couldn't be contained. Over time, the details became more and more vague as the stories grew into legends, and that is how they came to be called the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. Pretty neat. That is a pretty interesting story, all said. I see. What does it say? First is a detailed account of the tragedy surrounding the Rite of Resurrection that occurred in Honjo back in the Edo period. The whole story of what we call the Honjo incident is laid out clearly. That incident was the origin of the 7 Mysteries of Honjo and their curses, right? Yes, the resentment of the victims of the incidents turned into curses, which are the hearse echoes. The contents are just organized like an answer sheet, so it doesn't really give us the information. It doesn't just give us the info we need. Ah, is there anything else? Yes, here's what we've been looking for. I bequeath this scroll to future generations, to be used in the event that calamity should arise from this grievous incident, it says. Whoa, he foresaw all of this happening? And it continues. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather the 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. My soul, that is, my curse echo, my body, that is, a living continuation of my bloodline, my mind, that is, my own consciousness. Wow, so if we gather these 3 things in one place, Seaman's Rite of Cleansing will activate and completely negate the curses in the Rite of Resurrection. Oh, that's it, that's exactly what we need! 3 things are Seaman's soul, body, and mind. It says the soul is Seaman's curse echo. Curse echo. Yes, he's the Saigar. He's the beckoning light. You said it, Mr. Iraishi said something along those lines before. There's one more hint written here. My curse echo holds my curse. My curse brings ruin to curse bearers. What kind of hint is that? It'll make more sense if we keep looking. I mean, it's whatever. But will the curse echo still appear if the curse bearer is already gone? Next is the body of the descendant of Seaman, so it seems. Wasn't Yoshimi a relative of Seaman? He and Michigo Shiraishi who had the other talisman. Both of them had already passed by this time the iteration of the curses was unleashed. Damn, that's true. What are we gonna do? His bloodline was so split up. There have to be others. Oh, there's another note here too. Another hint. As for the body, seek not only one who bears my blood, but one with a strong spirit sense. Such an individual will be able, if a spirit attempts to possess them, to instead take control of that spirit themselves. So it says. Do you know of anyone like that? I can't think of anyone. Let's move on for now. Next is the mind. What's the difference between the mind and the soul? In paranormal theory, it's said that humans are made up of soul, body, and mind. The mind is essentially thought of to be part of the spirit that makes up one's consciousness or oneself. It's like driving. The body is in the car, and the soul is in the control system, and the mind is the driver. I see. I think that makes sense. So there's a hint for finding this one, too. Well, let's see. Should there be a Rite of Resurrection be activated elsewhere, so too shall my mind be awakened there. Seaman tried to seal away the Rite of Resurrection, but before he could, Ashina stole the Record of Fates. So a countermeasure to the rite being activated, he made it so his mind would be released from the seal. Okay, but what does that actually mean? What it means... Seaman's mind awoke the night the Rite of Resurrection was activated, thus possessing someone out there right now. What? So we have to... Is it Yoko? I would love it to be Yoko. That would be so epic, sexy, cool. I want to see her again. I want to see her again. Right, so we just have to find the Hearse Echo, the descendant, and the person possessed by Seaman. Then we just have to get them together in one place, and we'll be good to go. Who's possessed? Who here is possessed? Well, Shogo's dead. I want to see her again. Not her. Well, he's dead. I don't think him. No, he's dead. Not him. He's dead. Maybe her? She was possessed by Michio. That's Mia. She's dead. Maybe Hitomi, question mark? She was possessed. This guy's dead. This guy's dead. I don't think him. This guy's dead. Definitely not him. I don't think her. I don't really want him to. I don't want to see her. He's dead. That's the main character! Could you imagine if he was actually the main character and he would just like pop in and be like, hey! Then we go together in one place and we'll be good to go. Right, but there is one more thing. The second and third ones could both be the same person. But who could that be? It's like how Michio lost her memories when she was possessing Yako. Seimon's consciousness might not be aware of who it really is. So he learned the truth. Would he start to act of his own accord? Then this person could already be... Oh, hold a second, someone's coming this way. Huh? Excuse me. Yoko, 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 I want to see her, I miss her. Yes! Who might you be? I was in the prologue of this game? Could you... I've missed her. Would you buy this empty can of juice I finished drinking for 10,000 yen? I'll even throw in these bones from some fried chicken. You can't beat a deal like this, Queen. I don't really want them. Don't say that. Come on, they're delicious. Anyway, I thought I might have a picnic right here. Won't you join me? Sorry, something's wrong with you. I don't understand. What should we do? It's not like we need this exact spot. We can't do anything with other people around. Sorry. We're in the middle of something, so we'll be on our way. Boo. Yako! Oh, well that's an ending. I'm so proud of us. We did it again. We beat this game again. Well guys, we just are really good at video games. We're just so good at them. Everyone died. The end. Smiley face. What a beautiful story. What a wonderful story. Hey! My heartfelt thanks for your hard work thus far. Sorry, I clicked out of the screen briefly. This brings the story of the 7 Mysteries of Honjo to a close. And who could have seen such a conclusion? Unfortunately, it seems the so-called mastermind was one step ahead of you. She remains hidden, leaving Dai no evidence. Perhaps there's really no way to stop her. However, should you find that this conclusion is not to your liking, by all means, please pursue a different path. You've done it once before, so I'm sure you already know how. With that, I shall be taking my leave. I have been your humble storyteller. Good night. Wow. Gaming. Okay, so I looked up a walkthrough for this. So we start from this point and we interact with the beckoning light, which we know is Seimon. Touch it. Huh? Am I supposed to touch it? Apparently, you can get this, so this opens this new route, cleansing. And apparently, And apparently, you can get this by just touching it a few times. I think we interacted with it once, and then we brought it up to. Initially, we brought it up to Yumioka here, to Kumiyomioka. And apparently, there's a little quiz. So I kind of see the answers here, but I'm gonna try to answer them because I don't know what they are. They're kind of doing without without spoilers. Oh, stuff keeps falling. My. Finally, you have arrived at this juncture. I had expected no less from you. That would mean that you have managed to bring everything to light. Though, there is the chance you have wound up here by chance. So before I take you any further, I must ask you a number of questions about what exactly the soul, body, and mind of Seimin Tsuchikimogato are. Firstly, which recommend? Well, the Yes, that's exactly it. After his defeat at the hands of Ashino in the Honjo incident, Seimin wandered around near Honji. The form of his curse echo changed with time, but the legend left behind. This is the curse echo which was acquired by Mayu Chozawa, but when you called forth by Seimin's body and mind, it appeared momentarily before him. Let us continue. Who served as the self of Seimin? Mitsuki Jimado. Who was his body? Apparently this is Shogo. Which is interesting. I wouldn't have gotten that. Which kind of makes sense why he was able to see him first before... he was able to see him first. Although Shoujo Okie was born to an ordinary family, the blood of a distant relative ran thick in his veins. The truth is the same for Yoko Fukunaga. She was also the one who had blood of a distant relative coursing through her. In her case, it was Ashino. Seimin and Ashino, fated to meet again all those hundreds of years later. Now for my final question. Who is the mind of Seimin Tsuchimikado? Tell me the person of whose consciousness was directly tied to his. Apparently it's my name. Kids. Oh, I see. You believe it to be chance? Are you saying you believe it to be yourself? Are you certain? Yes, you are correct. Finally, you have remembered. That's right. You are Seimin's consciousness, awoken by the curses in Rite of Resurrection. However, having lost your memories, you forgot about the duty assigned to you, which is why the prologue is through Shogo's POV. This is, if I may say so, where I played the part of guiding you through the events of the story. As your consciousness was all that was left to you, you manipulated time and space by way of the story chart, jumping from vessel to vessel, and manipulated your host's actions by whispering commands into their ears. In doing so, you were able to get the full picture of what needed to be done. But at one point, while still unconscious, you managed to remember your duty. The so-called mastermind behind these events, the one who awakened the rite and the curses, was Yoko Fukunaga, her descendant of Ashino herself. You unconsciously activated your curse and killed her. How interesting that she awakened Seimin's consciousness at the same time as the curses. That was the one and only time she could have been stopped. But due to your influence on Shogo Okie's will, Yoko Fukunaga was brought back to life. Using that story chart to undo her death, I led you to believe that it was a work of the Rite of Resurrection itself. But as it turns out, seeing what would transpire if the mastermind were not killed at the outset is what ultimately revealed the way to put an end to the curse for good. There were certain things that you would have answered your questions had you noticed them. For example, even while under your control, Shogo Okie willingly used his curse. When I asked you early on how many Shogo Okie had killed, this is what I meant. Had he not used the curse, Shogo Okie would have done so of his own accord. Furthermore, Mayu Chozawa was able to recall the information only which you knew. She was able to do this because she was connected to you through her curse echo, the beckoning light. Ah. Let's see. In truth, Yoko is a descendant of an Onmyoji who continued to practice in modern times. Her ancestor Ashino attempted to seal the Rite of Resurrection in Honjo during the Edo period. Born with exceptional spirit sense, Yoko learned about her own ancestry while researching her roots, and was disappointed to find her bloodline had fallen into mediocrity. She became consumed with the ambitions to restore her family's lost glory through her own powers, and devised a scheme to succeed where Ashino had failed, and performed the Rite of Resurrection. Yoko continued her training, developed her spiritual and curse powers until she discovered the Record of Fates, which offered clues regarding the rite. She plotted to use the curse of the seven mysteries of Honjo to gather a large number of soul dregs, calling forth the curse echoes and setting a stage for mutual slaughter. The ultimate plan involved invoking a large-scale feast of shadows, awakening the curses, performing the rite itself, and bringing together enough soul dregs to revive Ashino. Since the effects of the curses would increase with the more people know and fear them, she first entrusted the Record of Fates to a local historian, Hideki Araishi, who could be used to easily spread the rumors. She also contacted Fumichika Nejima, a criminal with a deep understanding of the mystic arts, to obtain the curse stones needed to gather soul dregs. Unsurprisingly, Nejima was very interested in the story of Ashino and readily agreed to aid his revival. While carrying out these steps, Yuko learned of the existence of the Xeen scroll, which threatened to thwart her plans. She added a note about the scroll in the Record of Fates before giving it to Araishi, intending to acquire it before it could pose an issue. Through her investigation, Yoko discovered that Hajime Yoshimi was a descendant of Seimin and threatened him with a curse in an effort to scare him into revealing the whereabouts of the Xeen scroll. While Hajime bravely resisted Yoko's threat, she killed him with the curse to ensure Seimin's descendants would not stand in her way. As their preparations were coming together, Yoko obtained the seemingly less dangerous curse stone of the Whispering Canal in order to become a curse bearer, a necessity for gathering the curse stones for the Feast of Shadows. Shogo Okie, also a descendant of Seimin, was eyed as a potential risk factor and contacted to ensure he would be located nearby and subject to monitoring. However, unaware that the spirit of Seimin would be awakened within Shogo as soon as she invoked the curse, Yoko's plan was thwarted when she immediately cursed to death by Seimin. Damn. Now, allow me to ask you one last question. If you, knowing all that you know, had the ability to resurrect one life, would you do it? I wouldn't want it. I would destroy it. Oh, I see. It was Seimin's original intention. I recognize for leaving it out of the options when I first asked you this question. Now, it is time to bring these things to a close. Upon your arrival here, the rite of cleansing was activated, dispelling the other rituals and curses. Look upon the fruit of your efforts, and when we shall leave this world behind for good. Thank you, truly, for all the work you have done. Oh my god, unremarkable man. Yeah. What was that? That's what happened? I can't believe it! I finally understood. That is so sad that Yoko is dead forever. Yeah, I was the one who did that to Yoko. The blood of the Onmyoji that's inside me broke into my consciousness and gave me that curse. Yoko was after the Rite of Resurrection. She was the one who awakened the curse of the seven mysteries and cast the Feast of Shadows. And the only way to stop it was to put a stop to her here. Otherwise, the rite of cleansing might have been negated too. I wonder how much of those were really her doing, all those things. Yoko. I guess that explains why I felt like it was fate when all this started, though she didn't seem to notice. Guess things were always destined to end like this, from the moment we met. Wish we could have met under different circumstances. No point thinking like that now. God, I need a drink. God, fair. I'm thinking Moscow Mule or 2 or 3. Harui Shikima, 12 a.m. Ma'am, what is it? Ah, just a dream. It seems that it was all just a dream. I dreamt that there was a thing such as the thing of Rite of Resurrection. Just a dream. I'm sorry to say it, but there isn't. Right. Of course not. But If there's no such thing, I promised you that I will get to the bottom of the kidnapping. In fact, I happened to find a very important lead from over a year ago. Something that evaded our reach until now. An eyewitness from the scene of the kidnapping. I see. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is this? The medical unit told me to get down here. What happened? Don't worry, Dan. This is a good thing. If you would not believe what happened. You would not believe it. I was looking into Yoshimi's death at the former Yasuda Gardens. Another body was discovered at a different park in the area. Could they be related? It sure looks like it, but... Excuse me, we found this among the victim's belongings. I thought you might want to know. What is it? What? What the hell? Ah, look was in the female victim's address book. Yoshimi's phone number and photo. What? And the picture. There's an X drawn in a whole bunch of weird symbols and a hole where his heart should be. No. Do you think this could have been some kind of curse? How many times do I have to tell you not to try to draw anything into a cult, even though this is 100% occult related, but we didn't go through those events in reality? Damn it! Is this the Nakagoshi case after all? Tsutsumi, you have no idea. What was that, boss? Don't worry about it. Make sure you put that photo into evidence. There's no doubt this is related to Yoshimi. Make sure you do a thorough sweep of the area. I'm gonna make a phone call. Got it. Leave it to me. Spend as much as you want on the phone. Mio! It turns out Michio really did die in an accident. Yeah, if we ask around, we might be able to get a little more information. Guess there really ever was such a thing as the Rite of Resurrection. But I did feel like there was a spirit watching over us. Damn it. Why? Nothing's happening. But now my contract won't be. No! I never believed in that blasted record of fates. All of you watching from far, far away, the Rite of Resurrection has never existed. Not in any world, not in any time. So I ask you to take the life you hold and move boldly forward one step at a time. Kill that man. Richter, Iwai's out. You want to question him? Hang on, Ario. I want to get enough evidence for a search warrant. Let him go for now and I'll follow him. That's the kidnapper? Oh, she finally gets to actually have revenge. Yes, I'm the one who did it. So please help me. She's always following me. I'm so sorry, Michio. I had no idea. The events as they do still occur. It's just not in the exact same way. What? Hajime was killed by this Yoko Fukunaga? How can that be? He wasn't the kind of guy who would picked off just like that. You know that. Yeah, and Boss is hiding something. There seems to be kind of secret hidden in Hajime's family tree. Let me see if I can find out what it is. I had heard you'd be absent today. Is there something you need? Well, I seem to have this spirit sense thing all of a sudden. Hey, Shogo. I know it's the sort of thing our chairwoman doesn't approve of, so I thought I'd mention it. You could have called. Didn't think you were the standoffish type. I had to find out from you why. Whoops, sorry. I forgot all about my favorite chief inspector. hell you planning? Nothing so heinous as you're thinking. Bentley, I'm almost done with the game. Just be patient. I'm only Makoto Ashimiya, yeah. After all, nothing but a lowly janitor. In this world, I don't commit murder. How are things with you? Just getting along with your daughter? No. No. Well, you know, more or less. You should talk with her, maybe. Maybe try to form a relationship with her. I know it's been a long time and maybe she won't open up, but you gotta make an effort. That's part of the reason she doesn't like you. Baby, the game is almost over. I promise I'll be with you in a sec. I'm a little worried this video is going to be a lot longer, but like, you can't see conclusion and go, yeah, you know, I'm done actually. We'll do this next time. I think this will require a fair bit of editing. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I do think like the Michio stuff was like some of the poorer stuff done in the game. Unfortunately, I think that could have been handled better. But I did really, really enjoy the characters in general were really fun and enjoyable. I like how even though like technically the events as we saw them didn't occur that way, like things still like, you know, Richter was still hired to look for the kidnapping, so he and Harue definitely investigated together. In investigating the murders, the cops would have been led to Michio, and to the girls who were also looking into that, and that all would have been tied together. Like Yoko still would have been possessed by Michio, and all of that still would have occurred. Except Shogo, unremarkable guy, normal man. His hobby is folk guitar, and he wants a girlfriend. Hilarious. The Rite of Resurrection does work, but it's just like everything repeats again, so he has to die, which is very funny, which is very, very funny. But yeah, otherwise, like other than that kind of story stuff, and like, as a whole, I really enjoyed this game. You know, like, as with a lot of these stories, it's kind of like the build-up that works really well, and like I think, again, the character interaction is really, really good. I loved how awkward that conversation between Tatsumi and Diana was. It was so awkward. It was very funny. I think that stuff was written pretty well, because it was like, it wasn't trying to justify anything that Tatsumi did. It was just like, yeah, of course she's upset. Like, but yeah, so I really enjoyed this game. Obviously, I played all of it here. I didn't get all the Mockingjay, Mockingbird. I didn't get all the Mockingbird stickers. I might just do that in my free time. I'll do that on video. No, I don't think that's needed. But, yeah. So, also, theoretically, you could just speedrun the ending of this game. Definitely take a look. Go ahead and play it yourself. From the name of the title, like in Japanese, they kind of got rid of it for the English title, but in Japanese it's like PARANORMASIGHT, file, like 23. So, I don't know, maybe there'll be more stories in the PARANORMASIGHT series? Who can say? But I think that's it for the game. So that's it for PARANORMASIGHT, The 7 Mysteries of Honjo. I kind of did my spiel during the credits. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I really like the way... I love the art style, it's really good. The kind of uniqueness in the way it does the direction is really cool. As a story, I don't think it was like perfect, but I do think it's really interesting, and I mean, it is... I do like how most of the other endings, they're considered bad endings, and they don't really, they give you like the fast credits and everything. And the only one really being bringing Haruhi's son back to life, which is fascinating. Because it's just like, you know what, like, we're gonna give this one credence because can you blame her? Not really, right? But you know, it's a good story. I really enjoyed playing it. It was a cool game. It had a really cool direction. I love seeing visual novels that like do different things with them, which is always fun. So, but yeah, that's really. But yeah, that's it for Paranormasight, the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!